नंतरच्या सत्रासाठी आपल्या सोबत असणारे डॉक्टर अजयजी पोद्दार यांचा थोडक्यात परिचय ठिकाणी मी करून देतो. अजय पोद्दार इज द ग्रॅज्युएट इन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कम्युनिकेशन इंजिनियर in NIT Kolkata, then MTech in IIT Delhi. He's a doctor. He's a doctorate in the Bruin, and then he postgraduate in the other state university BTU, and then German university. He has received his own dozen awards for the scientific and the technological innovations. He the 2 dozens patent, and he's get the many prizes, the 250 scientific papers in journals published. I request to, and he worked as the senior scientist in DRDO India. I request to Ajay Poddar, please give the Dr. Ajay Poddar.
Yeah. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Greetings to all from New Jersey. Greetings from New Jersey, USA. And I think you have evening time. We are in America. We have morning time. So, good morning, good evening to all the attendees. I would like to, very wonderful talk from Honorable Vivek Sawant. Gave eye-opening talks because in his statement he said, "We in India we have a much vocabulary, and then what really do it." Thank you, sir, for eye-opening talks. I want to thank Dr. Sudhir Tambe and Mr. Durga Tambe for giving opportunity to talk on very important topics, education for rural and underprivileged students, as a part of virtual events, the global conference coming together for peace, harmony, and progress. It was first series started on Bapu's birth anniversary, 2nd October 2020. In present time, Gandhian philosophy is more relevant, meaningful than ever before. The growing trends of intolerance and hatred worldwide can lead to path of disaster if not corrected timely fashion. The 2nd October is a very important day for us and all international community, as UNESCO has declared the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi the International Day of Nonviolence. Jaihind people have been engaged in various activities for charitable work, especially for education for rural and underprivileged. This is commendable jobs towards building healthy society. And I want to salute those people who are involved from Sangamner. United Nations reported about inequality in a rapidly changing world. It is a matter of concern for both developed and developing countries. Inequality in rapid changing society comes as we confront the harsh realities of deeply unequal landscape within the cross country, whether it is village, nation, and worldwide. Income disparity and the lack of opportunity are creating a malicious cycle of inequality, frustration, and dissatisfaction across generations. Unless local communities, volunteering leaders, government, and global players collaborate for addressing this issue, the core promise we make all the time to leave no one behind will remain a distant goal. Education is to be proven a great equalizer. And that's what Dr. Sudhir Tambe was saying. If we are not wealthy by education, we can help much of the problems. We must call for giving all children the same opportunity for their education, regardless of where they live and the condition in which they were raised, especially children from deprived families, from tribal and backward regions, where formal education is not considered as a necessity. To promote equality in society, improving the access to education to rural and underprivileged communities must, because education is the medium of human empowerment and enhances the quality of life. One of the best ways to avoid being poor as an adult to obtain a good education, people who have higher levels of academic achievements and more years of schooling are more than those with lower level of human capital. Again, I mean the education as per nicely quoted by Mahatma Gandhi. It is not just something learning and degree. One should have a right mind, right body, and right spirit. In practice, improving access to education does not always result in lower inequality. Much depends on how education policy is designed and unimplemented. At the global level, the share of government spending on education in national budget is much lower in low and middle income countries than in high income countries. As a result, the education system has often served to reinforce inequality further rather than give every child an equal chance of succeeding. Disparities between schools share programs based on geography and socioeconomic status, race, and ethnicity can be found in most education systems. Moving from commitments to a sustained reduction in inequality and equitable sharing of the benefits of development requires determined effort and political will, including the local community and other volunteering leaders. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a student needs to have physiological need met before they were able to learn. If a child is hungry, he or she will focus on that fact and not on the schoolwork. Government, your local administration, your local community should help rural schools, especially the deprived community, to provide breakfast and lunch, especially for those families who meet national poverty guidelines. If children are not hungry, they will be more likely to focus on education in school if right trial can be made. And you all agree, underserved community deserves a solution. It is worth sharing the fact that these rural communities show higher level of social cohesion, stronger beliefs in community safety, and stronger opinions that people in the community look out for each other. In my case, I was raised in rural school, attended primary school under the tree. All the children, including me, regarding of their age, sit around the tree and learn the lesson in open sky. What I learned during my childhood still pays the dividends now, helps others, respect others, and be accommodating. I went abroad for higher study, but one thing always keep coming to my mind. Many childhood friends who were more intelligent than me, but could not pursue even high school education because of poverty, and bringing food in the house was a question of survival and priority. It will be no overstatement to make a testimonial that if underprivileged students are supported for their education, and if they succeed, perhaps they will return back to society multiple times. This will not only solve the education problem in the poor community, but will also help in reducing the crime, animosity, hatred, and exploitation. Gender and race inequality are also prevalent in our society, locally and globally. United Nations are working very hard and all over the world. These needs to be addressed without fail. In past 5 years, I have visited Amrit Bahani College of Engineering, Sangamnes 3 times. I want to thank Dr. Rekha Lavde and principal of Amrit Bahani College of Engineering, faculty, professor, and local volunteers for giving me opportunity to give talk on IEEE site. Site stands for Special Interest Group and Humanitarian Technology, and IEEE stands for Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, which has main mission is advancing the technology for humanity. I have supported for the formation of Amrit Bahani Sangha site chapter for the benefit of local community, especially rural and underprivileged community. As a chair of chapter activity committee and site committee around the world, I have helped in establishing 100 plus chapter worldwide, including more than dozen chapters in India. IEEE is very supportive in helping underserved community. Several technological projects developed worldwide, including India, by site volunteers to provide quality education for rural and underprivileged community. IEEE is a global organization, leverage technology to collaborate, communicate, and connect worldwide for the benefit of humanity. IEEE site program is a driving force for a better future for all, including underserved community. One such program is called IEEE Smart Village, which may tally with the Dr. Sudhir Tambe effort. The initiative focused on providing know-how, technology, and support for sustainable education system in rural and remote places. Many effort we do it, but should not be one man effort like Dr. Sudhir Tambe, Mr. Durga Tambe is doing. It should be sustainable effort so that we can duplicate other part of the country. Uh, from the IEEE Smart Village Initiative, they have three key points. Elevate the importance for education program in rural and underprivileged section of the society. Convince them the best ways to avoid being poor for entire life is to obtain a good education. So they will understand, they will listen our message. Working together, which is most important, what Dr. Sri Tambe was mentioning, government, local volunteer leaders, community, international organization, funding, all need to come to a harmonical stand to increase the impact of education in rural and underprivileged students. Utilize digital platform, which is like online teaching, Internet of Things, remote telemedicine, other thing. Thanks to the development of IT, because even we remotely we can give them same kind of quality of education under the IEEE Smart Village initiatives. The distance learning and telemedicine programs helps rural community use the unique capability of telecommunication to connect to each other and to the world, overcoming the effects of remoteness and low population density. For example, this program can link teachers and medical sub-providers in one area to students and persons. We did several projects in Kolkata, Canada, and other part of the world with the telemedicine helping the many people in the village in India also. Some of our members in IEEE, they are working round the clock to support the system. Only we have to tap the Sangamner chapter to connect from the international organization. One of the IEEE Smart Village program is a pillar initiative of the foundation, catalyze development in underserved and marginalized community around the globe. IEEE Foundation offers technical and financial support to rural and local entrepreneurs who expand both energy access and education to rural, underprivileged, and remote community. This model of sustainable community development is impactful because the empowered beneficiary in the deprived community, and this community will play an active role in building the cycle. This sets IEEE Smart Village Initiative apart from other humanitarian development initiatives targeted for supporting quality education to underserved community. And as even though it is very early stage, the program produced tangible results in developing countries, Nigeria, many other South African countries, and other part of the world. To conclude, there is a broad agreement on the importance of universal access to quality education to break the intergenerational cycle of growing inequality and promote inclusive development. And if I were the choice, Sanskrit and Vedic mathematics should have been included in the primary education. We lost somewhere, we don't know, our strength in both language and medical field, which is Sanskrit and Ayurveda. For detailed information of IEEE initiative and technical and financial support, please contact Dr. Rekha Lavde. She is serving as a chair of Amrit Bahani College of Engineering as a chapter of site representative. We can connect from international help. At least I would like to thank Dr. Sudhir Tambe and Mr. Duga Tambe and all the Jaihind people team for supporting the mission, thereby helping their life journey to have a dignified life. Thank you for listening. If there's a question, I'll love to answer. Otherwise, you can send me the email and we can connect. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable thoughts. खरं तर शिक्षणाच्या संदर्भानं महात्मा गांधींचा विचार किती महत्वाचा आहे गेले तिन्ही वक्त्यांनी आपल्याला अधोरेखित केलं. आपल्याकडे खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणावरती एका अर्थानं संधी आहेत आणि या संधीचं आपण सोनं करण्याची नितांत गरज आहे. महात्मा गांधींचा विचार आपल्याला आजही 2020 साठी सुद्धा शिक्षणाच्या प्रक्रियेमध्ये किती महत्वाचा आहे. शिक्षणामध्ये समान संधीची गरज आहे आणि पदवी म्हणजे शिक्षण नाहीत. आज जग कुठे चाललंय आणि आपण आज काय करण्याची नितांत गरज आहे. आजच्या शिक्षणाच्या प्रसार प्रक्रियेसाठी आपल्याला दूरस्थ शिक्षणाची नितांत गरज आहे. यासारख्या आणि आपल्या बलस्थानं शोधण्याची प्रक्रिया किती नितांत गरज यासारखी भूमिका आपण प्रतिपादन केलीत त्याबद्दल मी आपल्याला पुन्हा एक वार धन्यवाद देतो.